The motivation behind this deck is basically just that I wanted to play Hench-Clan Thug and something other than Rogue. It's also seen like a little bit of play in Hunter, I think, because of Candle Shot, maybe somewhere else. But I don't think I've ever seen it in Druid, and it makes at least a little bit of sense in Druid, because your hero power lets your hero attack. If you upgrade to Malfurion the Pestilent, you still get to attack with your hero power. You can also play Claw, which for 1 mana lets your hero attack, and 1 mana deal 2 damage isn't awful. But on top of all that, Druid does actually have a weapon that they can attack with. Now, Twig plus Thug is a little bit awkward because the Thug tends to be a little bit more on the aggressive side, and the Twig tends to be just a late game combo card. So I had to try to figure out some way to make that work. And what I settled on was like Savage Roar and Branching Path stuff. So you can go like Druid of the Claw, Savage Roar, break your Twig, and then go double Branching Paths or something and burst the opponent for a ton of damage. Or you can even just go like double Savage Roar, Branching Paths, break the Twig, and swipe or something like that. Basically, the Twig just opens up a lot of burst potential. And the Savage Roar is also a bit more synergy with the Thug. Another card that works well with the Twig is Ultimate Infestation. Obviously just tends to be a pretty powerful card. You can cast this for 10, break your Twig, and then play 10 mana worth of stuff. Even if it's not enough to kill the opponent, drawing 5 cards and then being able to play like 3 of those 5 cards is an extremely powerful turn. But other than that, we're pretty aggressive. We've got Dire Moles and Fireflies. Along with the Fireflies, we've got Serenite Chain Gangs, just to go super wide on the board for Branching Paths and Savage Roar. We've also got Keleseth, because I couldn't really think of any other 2-drops I really wanted to play. Keleseth's a bit sketchy in this deck because we do play a fair number of spells. We've got a weapon, we've got a Death Knight, and even things like Druid of the Claw and Druid of the Scythe don't get the buffs. But we do have plenty of real minions. We've got 4 1-drops. Serenite Chain Gang is particularly good with Keleseth. And I've even got a Spiteful Smith up here. I really doubt that the Spiteful Smith is an optimal card for the list, but it seems like a good meme to be able to buff Twig of the World Tree with Spiteful Smith. But yeah, I think that about covers it. I wanted to play Hench-Clan Thug and Druid for some reason, and I figured I would play the Druid weapon to go along with it. One more thing to mention, I was expecting this to be a straight up meme deck, but for some reason I'm 14-2 with it so far. We'll have to see if that actually holds up, which I'm not expecting it to.
The forest fights back.
I don't think I'm going to keep the Twig with no early curve against what could be Aggro Shaman. I don't have a great hand so far.
This will be good.
So against Shudderwock Shaman, I'm not sure. Healing Rain is definitely a bitch, but I can make some pretty strong boards. I can kill that thing with Claw so he only draws 1. Or I can rush this thing into it. Seems better because it leaves me with a thing in play, and it spends more mana. Definitely want to kill off his card draw. Could have considered just using the Claw so I could push this for face. The Claw is probably always just going to turn into face damage at some point, but it's nice to have the flexibility of it. Let's go for a Hench-Clan Thug.
This will be good.
Would have been nice to not have to trade off my 4-1, but it seemed like everything lined up nicely there.
I will show you here. I see you.
So I kind of want to attack here to buff my Hench-Clan Thug. If I just go for like Druid of the Claw, charge in here, and then claw this guy, my board gets wiped by a Volcano and I have nothing left. So maybe that's not the play. Maybe I just swipe here, hero power face, and let this be my board. Because this Hench-Clan Thug on its own is going to need to be Volcanoed soon. I think giving him the Thug and the Druid of the Claw is too much. I do miss some face damage with this swipe, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I have 7 in play. I can roar plus branching paths. I think that's 21. But even if it's not, it's a shitload of damage and it's worth getting. Actually, I think it's 22 because my Savage Roar lets me buff my Hench-Clan Thug here. Nice. That was a pretty sick Hench-Clan Thug.
The forest fights back.
Do I want to hold the claw since I have the Thug? Probably not, but it is worth considering. I'm honestly not even sure if I should be holding the Thug in this matchup, or in this deck, I should say. But he's what the deck was kind of designed around, so why not? I don't really have a good way to spend my mana, so I guess I'll just drop a Claw to clear that guy out. Firefly indicates that he's probably a recruit hunter. So I definitely need to get stuff on the board early and try to beat him up. Hopefully he won't have an answer to the Hench-Clan Thug. Oh, there's coin down. So that means his answer can't be Flanking Strike. That's good. Trade these guys off to protect my Thug. I think that's a little bit questionable with the Savage Roar in hand. Maybe I should have even just like made a 2-4 here. Next turn could have been Hench-Clan plus Claw or something. But I think I like just getting the Thug down. Not entirely sure.
The rage.
Let's go Taunt mode to protect the Thug and leave him as a 4-1. So Flanking Strike is again an answer to my guy, but Candle Shot isn't, Eagle Hornbow isn't, although I don't think that list plays Eagle Hornbow. Alright, just a Chain Gang. Actually kind of annoying. I could just Savage Roar here, lets me kill both of his guys, buff this up to a 5-2 and hit him for 5.
Let's see.
Can also just play Druid of the Claw as a 4-4, run in here. Probably don't want to make this trade. I'd just be leaving this board state, but I also have a 4-2. Alright. The Savage Roar definitely gets better. I think I'm just going to do this. I might also need the Savage Roar to break through something like a Witchwood Grizzly. This would be the turn for it. I guess Savage Roar makes some more sense here. Can also just go for another Druid of the Claw. And I guess the 4-4 goes in here, trade these two in here, this guy survives. But then like this guy can kill here unless I trade the Hench-Clan Thug into it, which I don't really want to. I think I'm just gonna roar this turn. Have to trade this thing off, but then I can use my face to kill that, and I get to push 11 damage. Seems really good. That's why you don't play Carnivorous Cube with Seeping Oozling. So I've got 8 in play. Hero Power is 2 because it'll buff the Thug, and then I can Druid of the Claw's face for 4 more. I can also just play Malfurion here, throw some taunts in the way so he can't get to my Thug.
What if...
I think either play is pretty solid, but getting Malfurion down is always nice. If he had Rexar, he would have played it here, so I could even go for Poisonous if I really wanted.
The circle of life is over.
The only taunts I'm worried about are Witchwood Grizzlies, which I would have seen. I think I like the taunts. I don't know, Poisonous was definitely an option. But the taunts are just likely to stick around, and they get little chip damage in, which is nice. Considering that my hero power does 3 a turn, I've got this Druid of the Claw that can do 4. So I don't need that much chip damage. Well, given that he had that, I'm definitely happy I went for the taunts instead of the poisonous. It's still pretty brutal, though. But I think I'm on the hit him in the face until he dies game plan right now. So I'm gonna take my 3 things that can attack and hit him in the face. Set him to 7, so he's dead to swipe hero power. But you never know what he can build. He hits like Cave Hydra, Vicious Scale Hide or something, I probably just lose. That's a Carnivorous Cube, friend. Yep, just dead on board. Didn't even need the swipe.
Lunara versus Garrosh. Victory or death.
The forest fights back.
Greedy Sprite's good. I'd really like to find 1 or 2 drops, though. Firefly and Keleseth are definitely the best draws next turn. Dire Mole is passable. Coin Red Band Wasp. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna play this guy. Maybe it means he's playing Cruel Taskmaster. Nope. Just wanted to play the Woodcutter's Axe on my Keleseth. Well, play out the Greedy Sprite. It's gonna get axed. This thing's gonna have a lot of attack. I'd even just have to swipe this thing next turn, which would not be fun. But I can also just play a 4/6 into it, right? It's gonna be, what, a 3/4? Could clear his board with Claw plus Swipe. Seems like I should just play a 5 mana 4/6.
For the war chief.
So maybe this is the turn for the Swipe Claw play. Lets me just full clear. Oh, I also have the Hot Twig of the World Tree play. Bump my 4/6 into the Wasp, and then I can twig down his Kor'kron Elite.
Now how about
I don't know if that's the best play, but it's a good meme.
this'll be good.
I think it was probably also the best play, for what it's worth. Might have to use my branching paths for armor. That'd be weird. I have a lot of damage in my hand. Swipe plus Claw is 6. I need 3 turns to get branching paths onto the Druid of the Claw. I guess that's a little bit unlikely. I'm just gonna go Chain Gang, and we'll claw this thing down this turn. I don't know if it's really a threat, but if he's playing some way to damage it, it could take out one of my taunts, which I don't want.
My blade be thirsty.
Seemed like the wrong order. Ultimate Infestation's a nice pickup, though. I think I'm just gonna run my Druid of the Claw into this guy. It does die to a Whirlwind now, but like, what Whirlwinds are you playing in that deck? Bloodrazor, I guess? Actually, Bloodrazor's pretty bad for me here. But what else was I gonna do that turn? Just swipe his guy?
My blade be thirsty.
Maybe that was pretty reasonable, actually.
Fast and furious.
Is that an Inner Rage? Interesting. Alright, well, looks like I'm just swiping his Frothing Berserker this turn, because there's no way I have lethal.
This'll be good.
And then next turn can be Ultimate Infestation, and then the Twig breaks, and I can play 10 mana worth of stuff. Might even have lethal. 5 with the Ultimate Infestation. Say that both of my guys stick. That's like 7, 8, 9 more. My Ultimate Infestation is face. I have, what, 7 guaranteed damage? I need 7 more. This can be 2. It's actually fairly hard to draw lethal. Maybe I just killed this guy. Seems like I'm pretty far ahead on value right now anyway. Looks like I would have drawn the lethal.
This'll be good.
Alright. I guess I didn't really need the armor off the second hit. I was just trying to make sure I clicked something so that I could actually make the attack with my Flame Elemental. Alright, we got there. I don't think it really mattered what I picked, as long as one of them was +1 attack to take out his Grom.